Tanong ng netizens, kung anti-corruption ka, bakit ka pumapanig kay VP Sara? Wrong question. Ang totoong tanong dito ay, why do you think she's corrupt? Sino ang nagsabi sa'yo? Media headline ba? House of Representatives ba? Makabayan block ba? Political commentator ba? Or actual evidence? Because an anti-corruption does not mean automatically anti-Duterte. Anti-corruption means allergic ka sa magnanakaw. Pero dapat allergic ka rin sa propaganda, selective outrage, recycled allegations, and trial by headline. Look at the timeline. As early as 2022, may backlash na sa proposed OVP budget. Then came the issue of confidential funds. Then August 2023, lumabas na ang 125 million issue. Then December 2023, may petition sa Supreme Court asking the OVP to return the funds. The funds were released late in the year inside a compressed December window. Then the same compressed timeline was later used politically against her. But ganon, spontaneous pa ito? Or may machinery? Because when you study the timeline, hindi ito simpleng concerned citizens asking questions. There were political actors, there were narratives and speeches, there were committee hearings, and there were media amplifications. Martin Romualdez, then Abante, then Shua, then Luisro, then Kimbo. Do you still remember her? Madam Chair, and suddenly, halos pare-pareho sila ng script. Same villain, same framing, same emotional trigger, same conclusion before the trial. Hindi ko sinasabing lahat ng media pa yan. Pero kapag isa ang linya, iisang angle, iisang target, at walang sariling audit trail na pinapakita sa tao, that is not investigation. That is amplification. And many Filipinos are not being taught how to ask, where is the primary document? Where is the final ruling? Where is the proof of personal enrichment? Where is the direct paper trail from public fund to private pocket? Kasi a House hearing is not a conviction. A headline, not a conviction. Addition, not a conviction. An allegation is not a conviction. And yes, even an audit issue deserves scrutiny, but audit disallowance is not automatically the same as plunder, theft, or personal corruption. Magkaiba yan eh. Accountability question, fair. Corruption conclusion, prove it. Now let's talk about Makabayan. The Makabayan bloc has been one of the earliest and loudest forces questioning VP Sara's confidential funds. They questioned the 2023 OVP budget and the proposed confidential funds. They amplified the 125 million issue. They filed a petition for the Supreme Court asking that the confidential funds be declared unconstitutional and returned. So the question is, Bakit? Is it purely because of transparency, or is it because VP Sara was effective in using confidential and intelligence mechanisms against communist insurgency and the political ecosystem that has always opposed Duterte-style security policy? Diba, friends? Raul, Rene, et al.? Let's be honest. This is not just accounting. This is ideology. This is power. This is 2028. And this is a fight over who gets to define corruption in the public mind before the evidence is even fully tested. Now, is Sara Duterte really corrupt? Let's stop shouting and start checking the ledger. Let's talk about Davao. A good friend, Adrian Pascual, said it best in A Ledger Doesn't Lie. An economist arguing for fiscal indifference must explain a debt-free balance sheet. Exactly, because when Sara Duterte left the mayoralty of Davao City, she left behind a debt-free city. Zero outstanding debt, not a slogan, not a campaign poster, but a fiscal record. Well, a corrupt politician is not usually allergic to debt. A corrupt politician does not usually rush to prepay obligations. A corrupt politician does not usually strengthen public services while keeping strict fiscal discipline. And no, debt-free does not mean saint. Let's not be childish. But it absolutely destroys the lazy claim that she has no concern for fiscal responsibility. Because under her watch, Davao did not just survive, Davao expanded. New equipment for Central 911, a new modern city library, Lingap para sa mahirap, the forerunner of Malasakit-style public assistance model, child minding centers, a brand new city college, a special needs intervention center for children, the Kian Gabriel hotline and 24/7 child abuse reporting system created after a child died from abuse, online business permit and licensing system, Peace 911, which tackled conflict areas, not just with guns, but the services, food infrastructure, and community presence. And local infrastructure, Classrooms, barangay halls, health centers, roads, partnerships with the national government, foreign governments, and NGOs. So let me ask you, if she was just there to steal, why build systems? Why expand services? Why retire debt? Why make permits easier? Why create child protection mechanisms? Why pour resources into emergency response? Why open access to education? Why create peace building programs in conflict areas? No corrupt politician will do all those things while being strict with fiscal management and fighting terrorists on the side at the same time. But that does not mean she's beyond scrutiny. Scrutinize her, audit her, question her, demand documents. That is our right. But do not call yourself anti-corruption if you only ask questions when the target is Sara Duterte. Do not call yourself anti-corruption if you ignore the flood control mess, the budget insertions, the ayuda politics, the contractors, the political dynasties, and the real-time circus inside the House of Representatives. Anti-corruption is not selected. It is not anti-Duterte. Anti-corruption is anti-corrupt. So before you ask me, why do you side with VP Sara? Ask yourself, why do you believe she was corrupt before you even saw proof? Who trained you to think that? Who benefits if you hate her before 2028? And why are the loudest people accusing her also the same people politically threatened by her? Because in an honest debate, we do not begin with headlines. We begin with records, documents, and receipts. And whether they like it or not, Davao left receipts they cannot easily erase. The lecture doesn't lie, but propaganda often does. So maybe they're not exposing corruption. Maybe they're manufacturing hate. And in 2028, the most dangerous voter is not the loyalist. It's the voter who was programmed to hate before they were taught to verify.